Hey there guys, my name is Anshul and today in this video I want to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G. This one over here is a budget-friendly flagship smartphone manufactured by Samsung in the year 2020. Don't get me wrong, this smartphone still holds a lot of value and I would want to compare it against the Pixel 6a. That is the best smartphone that Google has to offer at the budget-friendly price range in the year 2022. A lot of people would argue that, hey, why are you even comparing the Pixel 6a with a smartphone that was from the year 2020? I have a lot of reasons about it and I want to start with the pricing on this smartphone to start. This one over here, if you are in Canada right now, you can get it for about 350 Canadian dollar, or even you can get it for free if you are with some of the carriers like Freedom Mobile or Fido or Virgin. You can get up to $150 gift card, you pay zero down and you can get this phone for $0 added to your plan for 2 years. That is insane value to get from this smartphone. In US market, you can still buy this smartphone from Best Buy for about 300 USD dollars, and in comparison to Pixel 6a, that is $449. It has a lot of downsides, but all those things are available in the Samsung S20 FE 5G, which are not available with the Pixel 6a. Let me start with the Pixel 6a processor. The processing unit on that smartphone is powered by the Google Tensor chip, which is an iteration of Exynos 2100. A lot of people don't know that, but that was a flagship chipset from the year 2021 and we could see it in the S21 series. As it was an Exynos processor, we always know it is a bit behind the Qualcomm chipsets. In that year, we had the Snapdragon 888 chipset and it was not as powerful as that chipset over that time. I would say I would compare the Exynos 2100 more with the Snapdragon 865 chipset, which bring us to this smartphone over here, the S20 FE 5G, that is powered by the Snapdragon 865 chipset in here. Now, I know Pixel 6a is one of the newer smartphones, but if you can compare it and if you're getting almost similar performance on both the smartphones, and if you look at the pricing, I would prefer you to buy this smartphone over here. And that is not the whole story. Let us look at the benchmarks from Antutu. I have my iPad over here and I recorded the benchmarks, and if you look at the Antutu scores, the Pixel 6a has about 6888083 in terms of Antutu in comparison to 5758030 that we have on the Snapdragon 865. CPU scores about 190511 on the Pixel Tensor chip in comparison to 170470 on the Snapdragon 865. The GPU on Pixel 6a is about 241687 and on 865 Snapdragon it is 221083. Now, you can almost see that the performance difference is about 10 to 15% if you compare this smartphone with the Pixel 6a. With a clear winner, Pixel 6a, but we all know that Pixel 6a has a lot of optimization issues. If that same chipset was in this Pixel, I would say the S20 FE, I might be thinking, Exynos is made by Samsung and Samsung has a better control over their hardware and they might have optimized this smartphone way better than what Pixel has optimized it for their smartphones. A lot of people are having so many issues with the Pixel smartphones starting from the year, and still a lot of those issues are not fixed and are carried over to the Pixel 6a, which is a big letdown. Even with 15% more performance, this smartphone over here is way more stable and it does perform exactly the same as the Google Pixel 6a that you might want to purchase in this year. Apart from that, I want to talk about the display on both of the smartphones. I know a lot of people would be like, hey, the Google Pixel 6a has 60 Hz. We have been using it from a decade and we all are so used to using the 60 Hz on the smartphones. But when you start using the 120 Hz, you can never go back to 60 Hz. That is also something that you need to keep in mind. And when you can get something at like almost 100 to 150 US dollar less and you still get 120 Hz to get a better processor in that smartphone, why would not you want to buy the S20 FE 5G? It has 120 Hz. It has no pixel, I would say not pixel, the rainbow clearing issue when you tilt the smartphone. This smartphone has way better panel, way better HDR reproduction on this smartphone panel in comparison to Pixel 6a, and this is absolute a butter smartphone to use. The One UI 4.1 is something that I would say it does take a lot of cues from the stock Android experience, and it has its own Samsung US on top of that. I would say I like the One UI more than the Pixel UI, or I would say the latest iteration of the Pixel UI that we can see with the Android 12 or the Android 13 update. Coming to the cameras, we all know the Pixel series of smartphones are best known for their cameras. The Google Pixel 6a is using the same camera sensor as it was using in the Google Pixel 2, the same one in the Pixel 3, the same one in the Pixel 4, the same one in the Pixel 5, and the same one in the Google Pixel 6a. The f1.7 aperture 12 megapixel camera is one of their favorite, and this is not a bad thing because Google has just mastered their camera with AI when it comes to the very same sensor that we see in all those Pixel series of smartphones. This one over here is again a 12 megapixel camera, f1.8 aperture, and it has a triple camera layout, with the other one is a 8 megapixel f2.2 aperture telephoto camera, and the third one is again a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera from Samsung. Samsung is no slouch when it comes to the cameras, and I would say if I compare this smartphone camera with the rest of the smartphones in the market at this price range, this one beats out all the smartphones with a very huge margin. Pixel 6a is still a winner in this scenario, but I would say this one is a better one when it comes to the quality of video recording. And if you get see and look at the overall camera experience, this one over here is one of the best camera smartphones at this price range in the year 2022, still beating Pixel 6a in terms of the video recording. It has a better 32 megapixel front facing selfie camera as well in comparison to 8 megapixel one that you get with the Pixel series. It has a faster charging, it has a dual speaker setup, it has a plastic back, and it has aluminum rails that are shiny in comparison to the Pixel 6a one. So this smartphone over here, it looks way more premium than the Pixel 6a. Pixel 6a is again not a bad smartphone. It is almost similar to what you get on this smartphone, but this one has a lot of features that the Pixel 6a was lacking. It has a 4500 mAh battery, and it has an in-display fingerprint scanner that does not suck at all. It won't register your other thumb, and this in my opinion never gave me any issues at all. The battery backup on this smartphone is way better than what you get with the unoptimized Google Tensor chip on Pixel 6a. It does not have a 3.5mm jack, and so does not the Pixel 6a. So what are my conclusions? If right now you are looking for a smartphone and if you are tight on budget, I would prefer you buying the S20 FE for a lot of reasons that includes a better display, better refresh rates, a better battery, almost slightly better cameras, then you have a better build quality on this smartphone. The design looks seamless. It does not look unfinished as the one that we see on the Pixel 6a series. It almost feels like that the Pixel 6a is lacking quality control in comparison to the pinnacle of smartphone manufacturer that is Samsung. So that was all about this video. My only suggestion is that if you're still looking to buy a smartphone, do consider buying a S20 FE 5G, as it has all those features that the Pixel 6a lacks in this year. Still, a beautiful, considerably fast smartphone is S20 FE 5G. So that was me, Anshul, signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.